This is still MCC, Marriage Counseling Club, and we're talking on the role of sex in every marriage with Ambassador Mrs. Cynthia Bo and Mrs. Ifeanyi. Mrs. Ifeanyi, is there any particular style recommended by culture or the church for couples?
Your question sounds funny because it sounds like, is there any particular formula or method, or when something is supposed to be fun, should there be any kind of style?
Okay, some churches, like my friend's church, she was like, the woman, one of their members, a woman, was complaining that the husband asked for doggy style. But the woman came to the pastor complaining to him that the husband is asking for doggy style.
That is where I have problem. If women will respect their husbands, even 80% the way they respect their pastors, there will not be problem in marriage. Why should your confinement, your bond, your relationship, your sexual life be discussed with a pastor?
Because she thinks it's actually spiritual.
What spiritual?
Please. Sex is a physical act. There is nothing spiritual about sex when it comes to
she believed that he was possessed.
She herself is possessed by the church.
My dear,
is pastor not married?
I told you earlier that women are on our own side.
We pretend a lot.
We lie to ourselves about our emotions and our feelings.
Sweep it under the carpet.
Men are more vocal. Men are more adventurous than women. When you want to go out and have fun, maybe, do you sit at your house and decide this is the kind of swing I'm going to go into? When you see sex in marriage as fun, it's even Paul in the Bible said, do not deny yourselves your bodies.
Because your body belongs to your spouse.
Explore your bodies. It's fun. When you stick to a particular style, it makes it boring.
That was why I said adventure.
It becomes monotonous. She rightly said it's adventure, fun. If you keep going to swimming, sometimes you like to try horse riding, or maybe you want to do another kind of relaxation. There is no church will teach you these things we are talking about here.
The thing is, men tend to watch a lot of pornographic movies, and they tend to learn things that are quite. Most women, let's just say some are brought up in reserved homes and stuff like that. So whenever you see things that are actually strange to them,
let me come in here now. The issue about sex is, this is your feeling. That is why so many marriages has problem today. Because of what? We try to dodge our feelings. When both of you are into relationship, you are married, you should talk about. That is why I said communication is key. You should discuss about your feelings. When I taught you here, how do you feel? How do you feel when we do it the other way? Make it adventure. We women, we pretend a lot, and the next thing we carry Bible. Even the Bible did not say this is the way you do it. No. Which chapter? Which verse? And even St. Paul said, don't deny sex from your partner, because the body belongs to the next person. And the interest, Ephesians 5 said, the interest of your marriage is for the next person. So why making it that even though you are eating, both of you are eating, and the man needs to drop that food and finish up the other side? That is how it is. I've told you that there are some characteristics in how to do these things. So you must do it the other way around. Are you telling me that anytime you want to eat, that you cook the same meal? Gary in the morning, Gary in the afternoon, Gary in the night. No. That is why so many men run.
Are you telling me that if your husband should demand for the dominatrix and the suppressive kind of sex, you actually give it?
Even when he does, he wants a robotic aspect of it too. That is what makes you a virtuous woman, and you are a home builder.
Let me say something. Let me come in here.
Don't force her.
This thing has become an African thing where, what does my husband want? What does my husband want? We try to make sex be one-sided, and many women have already have it in their mind. It's a duty. Something is my marital duty, my marital obligation, assignment Giving it the name duty, assignment,
You are doing it for the purpose of that man.
obligation makes it
No.
sound too serious. My dear, it is fun. And women should learn this. If I am not satisfied in it, I will be scared of doing it. I will be scaring it.
I'm not enjoying it. Yeah.
Women should have as much pleasure as men in sex in marriage.
Yeah.
Remember I said earlier, the only place sex is allowed legally, spiritually, biblically is in marriage. That is where you're supposed to explore it, have your fun, have your adventure.
Eat it,
not
read
outside.
it, swim it.
And couples should sit down and discuss their sex life. Many couples don't do that.
Yeah. And they will off light even doing it.
Some people,
Must you do it in the dark?
will talk
It's,
about
it's a pleasure.
Some
Don't
might
create
just
it.
be they are shy, although it's
shy
Why should you be shy
the
about
man or the woman that wants life should be able to talk
My
to
dear,
his or her spouse
My dear,
out of it.
the sweetest
Don't
aspect of
expect-
it is when you do it and you see the face of the person you are doing it with.
and that this person is having
And how the person feels about it. That is the joy aspect of it. The problem is that we women, we sweep our feelings under the carpet, but we will run to pastors and churches. That is where infidelity is.
But what if the man wants something that you can't do? You can't
This-
give it
That
to
is
him.
why I said you discuss your
Discuss
sex
it.
life. What is it that works?
That's the
for
only place
us?
even Bible comes. The Bible says, don't force the woman. But as a man, you discuss this. How do you look at it? You are talking about some women growing up from a family or environment. You are making the men look whack or they are looking wide. No, women should be adventure. When I started going for marriage counseling, even from the age of 19, yes, I was not married. But I was looking at how the kind of marriage I want to have. I want to have a home that will be happy. Let me tell you, once your sexual life in your marriage is not sweet, there will be no peace in your marriage. That is the thing.
It is as simple as that.
Yes, no, because sex is bond. Sex is like a sacrament. Sex is a covenant between both of you. When some people will say, hey, she goes to native doctor to get something, it's a lie. What holds the man is the sexual life. Women should be sexually intellectual, sexually active, and discuss everything and watch the man. How does this man feel? And I myself, how do I feel? So many women were hiding, even when they are not satisfied, when they are not getting, when the joy is not there, they will refer it as a block.
The thing is, some of them feel dirty.
Look at the
after doing
thing.
things
Some
like
of
that.
them feel dirty in the sense because they are pretending. Look, if you are clean, you should do you know. Okay, let me now bring in something here. Apart from this, we're talking about sex. Sex is not just when you lie down, a man is on top of you or a woman is on top of you. When you bat together, happy bat. There's different kinds of bat. Romantic bat. Where the other person bat the other person and the other person bat the other, and you spend some time and water rolls. It's sex. When you take your time, even in kissing, there's so many ways to kiss and the relaxation will be there. You see, job, you are laughing, that means you are happy. Even the way you feed each other, the way you talk to each other. A man might put his tongue even in your ears, and at the end of the day, you are satisfied. How is it work? And a woman will keep on hiding. It's this same hiding that bringing in problem inside the home. Because when a woman gets outside, if another man touches her the way she wants, infidelity must. So a man should be able to bring her wife, discuss these things, bring it to the table. We are all human beings. It's blood that flows here. How do you feel here? Which one do you love most? How do I do it too? Even those women that pretend that I don't want to do the other way, touch that woman where she will feel it, or she will be lost.
Why some women feel, I believe, because I'm a woman also, why some women feel that they can't do this or not, because okay, there are some positions or some styles you do with a man and you feel that you're not comfortable with this. You just
should be
okay.
discussed.
Why? That's why I was saying that's the thing. Okay, yes. Look at this example now of why a woman actually had to leave her husband. The man is someone who likes the dominatrix and suppressive, the one of the tying and all those stuff. She doesn't like being hit when she doesn't enjoy it, but the man does. But the man was actually understanding. The man would tell her, okay, fine, since you don't like it, we won't use this style. But the thing is, the man goes once in a while because this is something he enjoys. Some people, I don't know, maybe it's just something that they're addicted to or something. This is something he actually enjoys. So when the woman notices that whenever he does it, he's so happy. Even when the woman tries everything to make this man angry, he's never angry because he's happy with it. But she just can't do it. She can't bear being flogged, being tied, and all those rough kind of sex. She doesn't enjoy. So she knew that she couldn't do this, so she had to leave the relationship.
Let me come in from that aspect of dominatrix and where there is sex and there is sexual perversions. That's one is sexual perversion. It's when you're not moving out of the context. It's no longer normal. It's no longer what's reasonable. It's not reasonable. And when we are saying it should be discussed, it should be the two people should have pleasure in it. It's because you can't be doing it for one person to. There's no selfishness in marriage. I said it before in my other program. There's no selfishness. The two of you must be on the same page at all times. Those ones are sexual perversions. They are not part of marital sex and enjoyment. That man has to be cancelled. Yes, that person has a psychological problem and should go for help. For real.
Still on this, is oral sex a sin in marriage?
No. Actually, Bible did not answer the question, what kind of sex, how do you do this sex, once it's in the content of marriage. You choose. The only thing the Bible talks about is it should be discussed. It should be something that gives the next person joy. Don't force the next person.
Okay.
Discuss about it. If you like, lie down, fly on the air, oral or whatever, sex remains a pleasure and a gift from God for marriage.
But there are some situations where, okay, the woman gives the man a blowjob, he enjoys the blowjob. So the woman wants the man to go down on her, but the man just doesn't want to.
Let me come in there. The problem we have about sex, most of us towards Africa, is that inexperience, ignorance. So many women don't read the books, even the men. And in terms of sexual life, it's always the women that drives the tactics, the way to do it, and because of what, maybe how exposed you are, or you read books. I recommend Ideal Marriage. I think that's the name. I read Modern Marriage. It's a book. It talks about everything about marriage. So the way you do it and everything should be discussed. Most men are very ignorant, and in sex and marriage, selfishness is out of it. So this is something you carry the next person along. You'll be able to balance it, because 1 + 1 instead of 2 is now 1. That means you have to drop the other half, and the other person will drop the other half, and the other 2 halves will now make up to become 1. So both of you should be adventurous about it. Discuss about it. All your light when you're having sex. Feel the other person. Look at his face. How does he feel? Which are these ones that I can touch, and where can I touch this person and the person will feel so relaxed, and I'm taking the person on craft even when we're still on our bed. So I advise women to go into research. Go out there, pick some good books about sex and marriage so that you can be able to. So men in their own side, let them not just do that. This is what I want. And both of them should not sit as work. It should be a siesta. And you shouldn't have time. Anytime, anywhere, sex is allowed once it's in the content of marriage.
Mrs. Ifeoma, this is for you. You talked on sexual perversions. A lot of people view oral sex as sexual perversion. Yeah. Some men are like, they can't go down on the woman. Some women will be like, they can't put their mouth there, they can't go down on the man. They see it as unhealthy.
Well, professionals have not told us that oral sex is unhealthy. And when you talk about sexual perversions, you're talking about when you have to inflict pain on the other person for you to get pleasure, which is, like I said, not normal. You know, inflicting pain on another person, tying the person up, flogging the person.
Psychological error.
Is a psychological problem on the part of that person that wants it. Now, looking at oral sex, the mouth is a sexual tool. The genitals are sexual tools. Another type of sexual perversion we can talk about is anal sex, which medical is completely against because the sex is not, the anus is not a sexual organ. And having sex through that has a lot of medical complications. It can even lead to anal cancer and all that. But when you talk about oral sex, it's a kind of a foreplay. And from the little experience I had so far, from the books I've read, the seminars I've attended, and discussions I've had with fellow women, you see that women enjoy more of foreplay, more of romance than the actual penetration. So if you're a man and you're denying your wife that pleasure, you're punishing that woman.
And you're driving her to the streets.
And that is why so many women are scared of sex. They will tell you this thing because they haven't been touched where they will feel it. If you want to have the best of your woman, give her enough foreplay.
And let her rise.
And she will put her in the mood, and you will get the best from her.
Even outside the sex. She'll give you everything. That is where you discover the virtuous woman.
Oral sex is not perversion because you're not inflicting any kind of pain on that person. That is not painful. If you look at it rationally, as a rational being, it's not painful. It's romance. Some people can even climax from there.
Yeah, so many.
Maybe when the woman is not safe and you people are not planning on having kids, it's a safe way of, dodging penetration and dodging unwanted pregnancies. It's not a perversion. All these things are the things we suggest and we advise that couples should sit down, read books. I can't count how many books on marriage I've read, even from when I was a teenager. Attend marriage seminars. Ask couple. Before I even got married, I was carrying out a research on involuntarily. When I see a couple that they are always together, they are happy, I try to find out what is
their secret.
What is the secret? And if you always go deeper, you will always see that those people, their
sexual life is
apart from their understanding of life and all that.
Let's say it this way. Some people, it's not that they can't do the foreplay, they can't romance their women, or the women can't romance their man and stuff like that. But the thing is, okay, for the man going down on the woman, he prefers to use, let's say he prefers to use his hands. And he can bring you to your climax with his hands, but he can't use his mouth. And the woman, let me say, the woman might say that I can use my hands, but I can't use my mouth.
If they agree,
that is where the agreement comes in. That is where the discussion comes to play. Which one do you love most? Which one brings you?
But most men, as we know, you like you using the mouth rather than the hand.
And then they won't want to do the same to the woman.
It depends on the man.
And let me tell you where the problem.
Let me tell you where the problem is. We pretend about our sexual life, both the male and the female. We don't want to talk about it. That is why so many African men and women, when they want to have sex, they will go to the light off because they are ashamed of themselves. God created this, and God knows that this is beautiful. This is bond. It's like ritual. It's like you are doing what you have. It's part of realization, just like we said. So it should be discussed. How do you feel? Which one is better? Which one? Then try it and see how it's adventure. If you don't move, you will never have the taste of it. It's an ingredient. And unless the ingredients of Onubo soup is complete, it is not Onubo soup.
Without that taste.
You said it.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show. It was really lovely listening to the both of you. And on that note, that marks the end of this show. It's not it's important for women and men, for the both spouse to communicate with each other. You don't know what the woman likes, you don't know what the man likes. If you don't ask, you wouldn't know. If you don't open your mouth to say something, you wouldn't know. Try new things every day. Spice up your married life and see if there won't be any changes in that marriage. And on that note, if you want to be part of the show or you want to contribute and comment, you can go to our email address at infinitefilmacademy2@gmail.com or infinitefilmacademy@gmail.com. You can also contact us on the number on the screen right there. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Infinite Film TV, and also follow us on Instagram at Infinite Film Academy. Same station, same time. Keep watching.